This is Fox 6 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Kirby Moss. Family violence, experts from all over the world are meeting in San Diego today to discuss what they are calling an international epidemic.
An epidemic that has brought together more than 2,000 mental health professionals, advocates, and survivors from 21 countries and 48 states to this 5th international conference hosted by the Family Violence and Sexual Assault Institute.
San Diego is unfortunately like the rest of the country. We have significant issues in domestic violence. We've had homicides already. I think we've had over a dozen homicides this year in dealing with family violence in San Diego alone.
We sat down and said, would people come to hear issues on children exposed? And we expected maybe 150 people. 300 showed up.
And he talked about hiding under the bed with his 2 younger siblings while all this was going on.
If you follow the media, you would think nobody was beaten until the 60s and nobody was molested until the 80s.
And then, only then, when they have us, they make a request.
Of keeping silent when we see somebody walk into the office with a black eye.
Here I was, an international speaker, still being scared in the street 15 years later.
But the fact that we need these institutions to teach us these things indicates that violence is a learned experience, and we have to unlearn it.
We want to hold the mirror up. We want to give kids back to themselves and say, here's who you are.
90% of the kids that I see who've been diagnosed with ADD come from families where they've experienced significant trauma.
3 years ago, in this very room, we were about to begin our session when 9/11 hit.
I actually literally translated it into Russian language, and it started sounding domestic violence. In Russian is домашнее насилие. We didn't have a term like that before.
From all of those kids that would talk about their lives of quiet desperation, that it just not only makes your heart hurt, but makes you want to do something to make a difference.
There's a reason I hide my heart, you know. I don't want to tell, really. No one is asking me about it. And so I just hide it. But you gotta know, there is a reason.
Try to get out of the box. It's like to think about what the other professions and what the other disciplines are really about and what are the parameters for their jobs.
That there's a powerful force unleashed when young people resolve to inspire, to make a change.
In order to end abuse in all families, we need to make sure that we approach abuse in families through the eyes of the families that we are trying to reach.
But people like you are helping people like me, and I think that sometimes we need to see through the racial lines and realize exactly what Dell said in the poem, Maya Angelou poem, that we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
And share with each other what's working and what we can do back home, but that we will also come together to speak in a unified voice.
That our commonalities unite us in the sense
that we need to combine our energies to end violence and to ensure that all of our families and all of our communities are safe and violence-free.
For all the years that I had been given the message that I was unworthy and deserving of being heard, I was now being given a different message by people who cared. My coaches, my teachers, my friends, and those families that took me in. And that message was that I was a good human being, worthy of being loved and of loving in return.
Whoever is there that's part of your family or part of your iwi would get up and support you so you don't stand alone.
It is not simply knowing people's stories, it is allowing people to tell their own stories.
I think all of us want to live in a peaceful, compassionate world. It is possible, inshallah. Thank you very much. God bless.
I don't have a mental illness. I can't have a mental illness, I'm telling myself. I'm talking to myself and somebody talking back.
And is in the back of the room, is open all day today until 6 with hundreds and hundreds of books that you will buy.
So keep eating, but we're gonna start. The raffle tickets should be going around. Buy some tickets, because we're gonna do that in a little while. We're gonna raffle off this quilt.
And I remember as a prosecutor, I used to love hearing my daughter a few years back tell other people what I did as a deputy DA. She said, when people do bad things, my dad gives them a big timeout.
A voice from beyond.
Or while you're doing that and having fun, you are still buying raffle tickets, right?
They are coming around to tables asking you if you would like to buy a raffle ticket.
5, 5, 0, 8, 0. Do we have a winner? Going once. Going twice. Okay, we will try again.
As I was waiting for the elevator, the little boy came over, this is a true story, and he said to me with awe on his face, "Are you really the oldest living Miss America?"
I promise to do what I can to not let it happen again, to care for all women and men. I'll start by inviting Diane.
I'm talking to you, all my sisters who walk this road beside me. I'm talking to you, all my brothers who helped to bring me back home. We are the children of the world.